if you're a founder or creating something, you need to be building in public. Building in public helps you build trust, gain traction, and share your story to an audience, right? So I've been building my media company now almost for a year, and I'm coming up on a year in I think July 22nd, and I'm going to be doing a full video on that and everything I've learned over this past year with building a newsletter, growing it to almost 15,000 subscribers, building out the website, kind of the idea behind that. Going to talk a lot more into that. But I've essentially been building this, little media company here for almost a year now, and I've been documenting my journey through YouTube videos essentially this entire time. I feel like this is a super positive thing for a handful of reasons. I want to just talk about a couple of the benefits of building in public quickly. So first thing is, if founders are building in public, people can follow their journey. So as I go about building this media company, talking about building the Simple American out with the newsletter, how I'm growing it, the website, building that out, my ideas for it, people can follow my journey, learn more about me, kind of go through the process with me as I'm doing this. So hopefully down the line, if it does work out and, it turns into something, then people have all this footage, all this content on how I did it step by step. What I always like to think of is, how many times do you hear like a founder on TV? How many times do you see Mark Zuckerberg get interviewed, or Elon Musk get interviewed, or even lesser than that, but like business people that have found success, like someone building their hedge fund or building a private equity firm, or someone building up a really successful newsletter that they ended up selling for $10 million. How many times you see people interviewed on TV or podcasts or YouTube, and they're walking you through how they did it step by step. I always used to think, what if those founders were literally doing like a weekly YouTube video talking about what they did that week in their business, and they did that until they sold the company or until the company got really big. And, then you'd have more in-depth knowledge of what they were really thinking going through at that time. I always like to think about that. I mean, just imagine if, when Elon Musk, first got involved in PayPal or whatever, if the company of PayPal was documenting, the day-to-day, the operations there. I think that would be super interesting, and people would really like that content. But there are a bunch of other positive reasons for founders to be building as public as well. A couple of things, which would be, one, you get a really solid feedback loop, right? Like, you're posting about what you're doing. People can comment, people can watch, people can let you know what they think of your product. You can take their input and make some tweaks to your product or your service or your website or your newsletter, whatever you're doing, and really get a good idea of what people think about it. And it helps you make it better a lot quicker. A couple other things is, with you building in public, you're able to share your wins and your losses and your milestones and your struggles, and you really get to be authentic and build trust with people online, and they start to follow you and your story. And, if you're really vulnerable and sharing like wins and losses and struggles, it kind of just makes you someone people want to root for, or people want to keep following you because they know you're being honest with what's going on in your business. If you get on here and you're just saying, oh, this is so great, and look how we did this, and we've already raised this much money or whatever, sometimes that's not so relatable. Like, people want to know, the struggles people are going through, or the difficulties in running a business or growing a business or building a business. So that kind of vulnerability and just being super open, I think, is also a positive with building in public. Another thing, it keeps me accountable. When I'm building in public, I know that I got to make a YouTube video every week, every other week, stay consistent with it. And I know that I need something to talk about in that video. So I have to make strides every day, every week with my little media company that I'm trying to build here. I need to be consistent with the newsletter. How am I growing the newsletter? How am I making the newsletter better? How am I building out the website? Do I like the way the website looks? How do I hook ads up to the website? All that stuff adds up, and it keeps me accountable. Another thing is if you're sharing your story, building in public, you're just creating a lot of content. And frankly, more content equals more potential eyes on what you're doing. And at the end of the day, I'm essentially marketing my media company here. I am talking about how I'm building the Simple American right here. I am telling you, go check out my website, simpleamericannews.com. And, you just never know where content can go. This video could blow up potentially, get, 100,000 views, and I might have 100,000 people sign up for my newsletter or view my website. So that's another thing, is making content is kind of just free advertising, and you never know what type of content is going to do really well. And one video can blow up and change your life. So that's another reason to just create content, build in public. Just kind of wanted to get on here, talk about this for a little bit on why I think all founders should be building in public, and just kind of just making content around your business in general is a good thing. It's only upside from it. So that's why I've kind of taken this path, why I'm continuing to be consistent with this path. But wanted to talk about that and the importance, I think, of building in public. Again, I'm almost up to a year of writing my newsletter. I started it last July, and I'm almost to a full year now. It was July 22nd, 2024 that I started it. It's almost July 22nd, 2025. Going to be doing a full video breakdown of everything I've learned over the past year and how I've been able to grow my newsletter to almost 15,000 subs and been able to build a website, and kind of what I see for the future of my little media company. So thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. See you guys next time. And if you are a founder or creating something, get out there, start making content, start building in public.